Good afternoon and welcome to our esteemed members, visitors and guests to the webcast of the 134th Grand Installation of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria being held at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre this 25th day of March 2023. I'm Right Worshipful Brother Rick Durra, past Junior Grand Warden, the host of this afternoon's webcast. Today, the ceremony of the installation of the Grand Master, Right Worshipful Brother Anthony John Bucca, will be performed by the Grand Master, Most Worshipful Brother Richard Lewis Elkington, and he'll be assisted by members of the 2022-2023 Grand Ceremonial team. This afternoon, we'll also witness the proclamations of the Deputy Grand Master, Right Worshipful Brother Peter John Henshaw, the Senior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice, and the Junior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Neil Moyer. Leading the procession is the Grand Herald, Worshipful Brother Mark Lord. Leading the escort is the Grand Director of Ceremonies, Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice, who's followed by the Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Harry Blatt, and the Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Eddie Cohen. Directly behind them are the Grand Standard Bearers, Worshipful Brother Warren Dorling, who's carrying the Australian flag, and Worshipful Brother Tom Butera, who's carrying the standard of the United Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons of Victoria. Following them are the members of the 2022-23 Grand Ceremonial team and the Senior Grand Lodge officers led by the most junior of their rank. At the end of the line of Senior Grand Officers, Junior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Peter Bond, and he's followed by the Senior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Miles King.
Be seated, brethren.
Today we will witness the new office being introduced into Freemasonry. It's that of Grand Master's Assistant. Only 3 brethren have been chosen out of the whole state of Victoria. They are all Master Masons and they'll be invested with white blue collars with gold trim. They'll assist the Grand Master throughout the year, and they are Brother Guy Wilcock from the Mount Scopus and Collegians Lodge, Brother Kevin Richardson from the Brighton District Lodge, and Brother Janben Palingayan from Sunshine
Principal
Wisdom
officers
Lodge.
upstanding. Right Worshipful Junior Grand Warden. What time is it?
Past high time.
Your
The
duty?
organised today
To
is
call
the
the
gifted
brethren
Right
from
Worshipful
refreshment
Brother
to
Roger
labour.
Manderson,
Oh,
past
well,
Senior
thank you to
Grand
declare.
Warden.
Brethren, it is the most worshipful past Grand Master's command that you cease refreshment and return to labour for the further dispatch of Masonic business.
The Grand Chaplain is Right Worshipful Brother John Glover, RFD, past Deputy Grand Master. Grand Lodge having been opened, the Grand Director of Ceremonies, Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice, will open the Grand Lodge's volume of the Sacred Law, as well as the Grand Master's volume of the Sacred Law, upon which he will take his obligation. The square and compasses will be arranged on the Grand Lodge's volume of the Sacred Law. The volume of the Sacred Law represents the volume of all faiths, no matter what religion a member might believe in.
Right worshipful, very worshipful, worshipful brethren and brethren, you will greet the immediate past Grand Master with grand honours 9 times.
Thank you, brethren, once again for those gracious salutations. I return to each one of you my warmest fraternal greetings and bid you well.
Grand honours which are accorded to the Grand Master are a sign of greeting, respect. It's a salutation. The Grand Master is entitled to 9 of these grand honours, to which he will acknowledge the reception of those grand honours by giving a sign of fidelity,
Be seated,
which is
brethren.
like a formal acknowledgement.
Ladies and gentlemen and brethren, thank you very much for joining us at this very important Masonic ceremony, the installation of the 48th Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria. I hope it'll be interesting for you, so please sit back and relax and enjoy the ceremonial this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Right Worshipful Grand Director of Ceremonies. You'll please admit visiting delegations.
Escorting the first Grand Principal and the delegation from the United Grand Lodge of Master Masons of Victoria are Worshipful Brother Harry Blatt, Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Philip Davenport, Grand Sword Bearer, Worshipful Brother Jonathan Ivani, Senior Grand Deacon, Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Holloway, Junior Grand Deacon. Escorting the first Grand Principal and the delegation of the Supreme Grand Chapter of Royal Arch Masons of Victoria are Worshipful Brother Eddie Cohen, Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Bill Lodge, Grand
Most
Sword Bearer,
worshipful Grand
Worshipful
Master.
Brother Carl
I
Donadio,
have the
Senior
honour to
Grand
present
Deacon,
the
and
leaders of the
Worshipful
following
Brother Graham
delegations.
Oldfield, Junior Grand
Most
Deacon.
Worshipful Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Master Masons of Victoria, Most Worshipful Brother William Richard Jones.
Thanks, Dennis, for joining us this afternoon, Bill. You've done a fine job in your 2 years as Grand Master of the Mark, and it's been a pleasure for me to walk alongside you in governing Freemasonry in this state. Thanks for your support today.
It's a pleasure to be in your company. Immediate past Grand Master, we'll have a great day.
I'm sure you will. Thank you. Go that way.
Most Worshipful Brother Jones is accompanied by Right Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Keith Goods, past Deputy Grand Master Designate, and a number of brethren.
Thank you, brethren, for joining us and supporting your Grand Master this afternoon.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the most eminent First Grand Principal of the Supreme Grand Chapter of Royal Arch Masons of Victoria, Most Eminent Companion, John Charles Ives.
We haven't seen each other for ages, John, but it's been a pleasure to also march alongside you for the last number of years now, as you've led the Supreme Grand Chapter of Victoria in partnership with Freemasons of Victoria. Thanks for your support today, and I look forward to your grand installation in about a month's time. Thank you.
Thank you for your welcome, Most Worshipful Past Grand Master.
Thank you.
Most Eminent Companion Ives is accompanied by Right Eminent Companion Leonard Stephen Lacey, Deputy First Grand Principal, First Grand Principal-elect, Right Eminent Companion Peter Thomas King, Third Grand Principal, Most Eminent Companion Peter Thomas Gurr, who has been awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia, Past Grand Zerubbabel, and a number of companions.
Thank you, companions, and my sincere good wishes and thanks go to you for supporting your First Grand Principal today.
Be seated, brethren. Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the representative of the Right Worshipful District Grand Master
Escorting
of
the
Grand-
representative
District
of the
Grand
Grand
Lodge
Master of the
Middle
District
East,
Grand Lodge
under
of the
Grand
Middle
Lodge of
East, under the
Scotland,
banner of the
Right
Grand
Worshipful Brother
Lodge
Louis
of
Van
Scotland.
Lim.
His Very Worshipful Brother John Rodrigo, past past Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother
Thank you
Gary
very
Liu,
much,
past
Brother,
Grand
for joining
Sword
us.
Bearer, Worshipful Brother
Australia
Bill
here today.
Sheehan, past Senior
Hope
Grand Deacon, and Worshipful
great
Brother
fun. We have,
David Gain, past Junior Grand Deacon. Escorting the representative of the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of Estonia, are Worshipful Brother John McTaggart, past Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Sean Momem, past Grand Swordbearer, Worshipful Brother Adrian Kamer, past Senior Grand Deacon, and Worshipful Brother Bruce Carey, past Junior Grand Deacon.
It's not on. It is.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the representative of the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of China, Most Worshipful Brother Li Yapin, past Grand Master.
It's a great honour to welcome the representative of the Grand Lodge of Democratic China, all the way from Taiwan.
Yes.
Thanks for coming here today. There's been a long history of association between this Grand Lodge and the Grand Lodge of China, and we trust that you'll be reacquainted with many of your friends here, and we might get to know some more about the Grand Lodge of China. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hang on a minute. There's a guy over there. I'll just take it over. Thank you for coming. You may now be seated, actually, but thanks for joining. You're with your leader today.
Yes.
And thanks for supporting him, and thanks for representing your Grand Lodge.
Thank you.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, both representatives are accompanied by a number of brethren. Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the representative of the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Estonia, Right Worshipful Brother Peep Simon, Deputy Grand Master.
Very worshipful Brother Simon. Vaga Sira Tevitus Vomend.
Thank you. It is very nice in Estonia. Thank you.
I thought I'd practice my Estonian. It's been a while. But thank you very much for coming, making the long trek from Estonia to be with us today. We're honoured by your presence. We know it's a small country with a small Grand Lodge, but size in many ways is irrelevant. It's how you actually live the principles of the organisation. So thank you for being here. We hope you have a wonderful weekend in our company.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a big honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the representative of the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of China, Most Worshipful Brother Li Yapin, past Grand Master. My apologies. I missed him. He's already there? Just check. Be seated, brethren. Most Worshipful Past Grandmaster, I have the honour to present the Most
Escorting the
Worshipful
Grandmaster and the
Grand Lodge
delegation of the
Western
Grand
Australia,
Lodge of Western
Most
Australia,
Worshipful Brother
Worshipful
Daniel
Brother Harry
Lewis
Blatt,
Gannon.
Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Philip Davenport, Grand Sword Bearer, Worshipful Brother Jonathan Ivanyi, Senior Grand Deacon, and Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Holloway, Junior Grand Deacon. Escorting the Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland, a very worshipful Brother Wes Turnbull, past Grand Director of Ceremonies, worshipful Brother Jerry Spiliotis, Grand Sword Bearer, worshipful Brother Peter Gallagher, Senior Grand Deacon, and worshipful Brother Peter Barand, Junior Grand Deacon.
Value to you and to your members of your delegation.
Thank you very much. Most worshipful Brother Richards, it's a pleasure to be here. We look forward to contributing to the economy of Victoria.
That's good, thank you.
Most Worshipful Brother Gannon is accompanied by Right Worshipful Brother James Allen Walker, Deputy Grand Master, and a number of brethren.
Well, thank you, Jim, for accompanying your Grandmaster today and your wonderful delegation. Thanks very much.
Most Worshipful Past Grandmaster, I have the honour to present the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Queensland, Most Worshipful Brother Jeffrey Robert Harper, recipient of the Australian Fire Service Medal.
Sincere welcome to Victoria, Jeff. Hope you and Dorothy have a wonderful weekend in our company. It is a day of celebration, as it was for you only a matter of, 6, 7 months ago?
That's correct.
So, you've brought a large delegation with you. We hope you all have a great time in our company. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Most Worshipful Brother Harper is accompanied by Most Worshipful Brother Paul Andrew Holland, past Grand Master, and Right Worshipful Brother David Gray, Deputy Grand Master, and a number of brethren.
Thank you, brethren, for once again coming to Victoria for this very special occasion. Thank you.
Be seated, brethren. Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of New Zealand, Most
Escorting the
Worshipful
Grand
Brother
Master
James
and the
Watt.
delegation of the Grand Lodge of New Zealand are Very Worshipful Brother John Rodrigo, past Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Gary Liu,
Sincere welcome to
past
Victoria.
Grand Sword Bearer,
haven't seen each other
Worshipful
for
Brother
a
Bill
fortnight.
Shan, past Senior Grand
we
Deacon,
had a- we
and
shared-
Worshipful
we
Brother
shared,
David Gain,
shared,
past Junior Grand Deacon. Escorting the Grand Master and the delegation of the Grand Lodge
You
of
talked about the
Tasmania,
things you're
our
doing
Worshipful
in
Brother
Quite
John
impressive.
McTaggart,
So,
past
thanks very
Assistant
much
Grand
for
Director of
joining us
Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother
today.
Sean
It is a
Momem,
very special occasion.
the past Grand Sword Bearer, Worshipful Brother Adrian Kamer,
Thank you.
past Senior Grand Deacon, and Worshipful Brother Bruce Carey, past Junior Grand Deacon.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Tasmania, Most Worshipful Brother Luke John Wood.
Most worshipful Brother Luke, great to see you again. You only keep the title of the newest Grand Master on the block for about 4 weeks.
That's correct. But it was a good 4 weeks.
It's a good 4 weeks. I hear that your installation was a very successful event, and we wish that things go well for you and for the Grand Lodge of Tasmania under your term, and I'm sure it will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Most Worshipful Brother Wood is accompanied by Most Worshipful Brother Philip Frederick Udi, past Grand Master, and Right Worshipful Brother Philip John Klein, Deputy Grand Master, and a number of brethren.
And thank you, brethren, for joining your Grand Master in visiting here today. Philip Body's sort of an old hand at this. He's been here many times. And he's probably a member of a Victorian Lodge, if the truth is known. But thank you, brethren, for being with us today. We have somebody else. Thanks for coming, Paul. Thank you. G'day, Phil.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master. I have the honour to present the representative of the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of New South Wales and Australian Capital Territory, Right Worshipful Brother Paul Conrad Schultz.
Escorting the representative of the
Grand
Grand Master and the delegation of the United Grand Lodge of New South Wales and the ACT is Worshipful Brother Eddie Cohen, Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Bill Lodge, Grand Sword Bearer, Worshipful Brother Carl Donadio, Senior Grand Deacon, Worshipful Brother Graham Oldfield, Junior Grand Deacon, and escorting the Grand Master and the delegation of the Grand Lodge of South Australia and the Northern Territory is Very Worshipful Brother Wes Turnbull, past Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Jerry Spiliotis, Grand Sword Bearer, Worshipful Brother Peter Gallagher, Senior Grand Deacon, and Worshipful Brother Peter Baran, Junior Grand Deacon.
Thank you.
Right Worshipful Brother Schultz is accompanied by a number of brethren.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you, John, for joining your Assistant Grand Master this afternoon. Thank you.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master, I have the honour to present the Most Worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of South Australia and the Northern Territory, Most Worshipful Brother David Malcolm Bucca.
Hearty welcome to Victoria, David. It's hard to believe it. Almost 2 years of your term have passed already. And exciting things are happening in South Australia as well with that the building development. And so we hope you're enjoying your term. Welcome to Victoria, and we hope you and your delegation have a great afternoon and weekend in our company.
I'm sure we will. Thank you for that, Rob.
Thank you.
The Most Worshipful Grand Master is accompanied by Right Worshipful Brother William Robert Donald Merrill, Deputy Grand Master, and a number of brethren.
Welcome, Bill, and your Grand Secretary. Bill's no stranger to this jurisdiction. Thanks very much once again for you and Heather joining us for this weekend, and I hope that she's on the mend. Good, thank you very much. Have a great weekend with us.
That's finished, sir. You can go now. Be seated, brethren.
This afternoon we're also blessed to be joined by past Grand Masters, Most Worshipful Brothers Don Reynolds, Hillel Benedict, Bob Jones and Gary Sebo,
Most worshipful,
along with
right
past
worshipful,
Deputy Grand Master
very
Ken
worshipful,
Cribbis, who is sitting in as
worshipful
the
brethren
acting Deputy
and
Grand
brethren.
Master.
the leaders of visiting delegations, having honoured this Grand Lodge with their presence, I call upon you to greet them with grand honours 9 times. Be seated, brethren.
To all the members of delegations who are not seated on the dais, and there are a considerable number of you, thank you very much for supporting your Grand Master or your representative of your Grand Master this weekend. We hope you have a great experience with us and you'll go back to your country or your state with fond memories about the way we do things and the hospitality and friendship that you found in the Victorian jurisdiction. Will the representatives of other orders meeting in Victoria please rise? These orders, together with Mark, Chapter and Craft, represent the fabric of Freemasonry in Victoria. I think for the first time we have members of the Shriners present here this afternoon. They're the ones with the fez. They're the ones with the fez. And we have also representatives from the Royal Order of Amaranth, which is a Masonic order which has men and women carrying out the ceremonial together. So thank you very much for the work you do in Freemasonry, and thank you for joining us this afternoon and supporting this Grand Lodge. Together, we partner in the fortunes of Freemasonry in this state. Thank you for coming. Brethren, our Grand Master for the ensuing year having been elected, we will now continue with the ceremony of installation. Right Worshipful Grand Director of Ceremonies, you will announce to the Grand Master-elect that we are ready to receive him.
Most Worshipful Brother Anthony John Bucca is the 48th Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria. Such is the seriousness of his undertaking, he will take his formal obligation in front of all present to uphold and maintain the principles, tenets and landmarks of the order. The escort masters today are the Worshipful Master of the Lord Northcote Lodge, Worshipful Brother Raymond Ng, the Worshipful Master of the Berwick Balcara Lodge, Worshipful Brother Hans Richmond, the Worshipful Master of Lodge Integrity, Worshipful Brother Steve Antonovich, the Worshipful Master of Lodge Observance, Worshipful Brother Sashi Samagathis, the Worshipful Master of the Monash Lodge, Worshipful Brother Albert Apay, and the Worshipful Master of Plaridel Lodge, Worshipful Brother Warren Rebates. The escort masters who are acting as cushion bearers are the Worshipful Master of the Henty Lodge, Worshipful Brother Ted Wombai, who will be carrying the aprons, and the Worshipful Master of the Baxter Lodge, Worshipful Brother Steve Llewellyn, who will be carrying the collars and gauntlets.
Most worshipful past Grand Master, the Grand Master-elect is waiting in readiness when it is your pleasure to receive him.
Right Worshipful Grand Director of Ceremonies, you'll conduct him to the east near the altar.
Leading the escort behind the Grand Herald, Worshipful Brother Mark Law, the Grand Director of Ceremonies. Leading the escort behind the Grand Herald, Worshipful Brother Mark Law, the Grand Director of Ceremonies, Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice, is Worshipful Brother Harry Blatt, Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies, and Worshipful Brother Eddie Cohen, Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. Escorting the Grand Master-elect is Right Worshipful Brother, who of course is Right Worshipful Brother Anthony John Bucca, and his escort is Worshipful Brother Carl Donadio, Senior Grand Deacon, and Worshipful Brother
I present
Graham
to you Brother
Oldfield,
Anthony John
Junior
Bucca,
Grand Deacon.
for installation as Grand Master for the ensuing 12 months.
my brother. The exalted station to which the free suffrage of your brethren
The Grand Sword Bearer
has
is
called you
Worshipful Brother Jerry Spiliotis.
involves great and solemn responsibilities. We will elevate you to a position from which power and prerogative may depart with the expiration of your term of office, but the honour and dignity, except by your own hand, never. You're now in the presence of all here assembled, presented for installation into the chair of this Grand Lodge, that you may be competent to enter upon the functions entrusted to you. As we are now upon the threshold of a great and important undertaking, the lessons that we received at our initiation into Freemasonry require that we should bend in solemn prayer to the Grand Master above and seek his blessings on our proceedings.
Eternal source of light and life, we thine unworthy creatures reverently bow before thee in adoration and praise. As when we first saw the light at our mystic altar, we implored thy guidance, protection and aid, so now we seek thee for thy divine blessing and direction. We humbly implore thy divine favour upon this occasion and upon the institution in the service of which we are now engaged. And bless now thy servant before thee, who is about to assume a new and important relation to his brethren. And give him wisdom, and give him strength, and give him love. Enable him in giving rule to keep in view the best interests of the great brotherhood now about to be committed to his charge. Teach him to feel that he is about to assume great and trying responsibilities, and enable him so to discharge them as to win all hearts. In thee, O Lord, as in the days of our apprenticeship, do we put our trust. Be thou our faithful friend, conductor and guide in the unseen vicissitudes of life before us, and bring us all at last to see the one great light, inaccessible and full of glory, in thy presence, where we shall behold thee with an unclouded vision forevermore.
Right Worshipful Grand Director of Ceremonies, you'll conduct our brother to the altar, that he may take upon himself the obligation appertaining to the duties of his office.
I, Anthony John Bucca, in the presence of Almighty God and in the body of this Grand Lodge, do promise and swear that to the best of my ability I will faithfully, zealously and impartially perform the duties of Grand Master of Masons in this jurisdiction during the ensuing 12 months and until a successor shall have been regularly elected and installed in my stead. I further promise that I will conform to and maintain the constitutions, laws, rules and regulations of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria and the usages and customs of free and accepted Masons, and will at all times enforce strict obedience thereto. So help me God.
Most worshipful brother. Sounds better, doesn't it? In inducting you into the office of Grand Master, and thus marking the commencement of your government over the craft, I shall perform a most solemn and important duty. You'll be invested as Grand Master with wide-ranging powers and prerogatives. And the interests of the craft, for weal or woe, will be placed in your hands. I feel assured that you are firmly resolved never to abuse or pervert these powers. The very consciousness of the possession of a great power will ever remind the conscious mind of the graciousness of that office. To rule has been a lot of many, but to rule well has not been the fortune of all who have held supreme Masonic power. Yet so to rule may well be an object of honourable ambition. It is not by the strong arm of the iron will that obedience and order, the chief requisites of good government, are secured, but by holding the key to the hearts of men. The office of Grand Master is of great antiquity and respect, and is one of the highest dignities to which we may aspire. As a man, he should be of good repute in the world and practice the cardinal virtues of fortitude, prudence, temperance, and justice. As a citizen, he should be loyal to properly authoritative government, respect the law, and be a pattern of fidelity in all social and domestic relations. As a Freemason, he should adhere to the ancient landmarks and be proficient in the laws, language, and literature of our order. Be desirous to learn and apt to teach. As Grand Master, he should cultivate the closest friendship and confidence in his officers. Be patient in investigation, deliberate in judgment, and prompt in execution, tempering justice with forbearance. He should ever cultivate the golden tenets of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Such, most worshipful brother, are some of the most important characteristics of a Grand Master. I'm sure it will be your aim to reach this standard and to be a bright and shining example to those who come after you. All that now remains for me is to clothe and invest you with the insignia of your rank and authority. It's okay to get emotional, Tony. I notice you're already wearing the collarette jewel of Lord Huntingfield, and I am wearing the collarette jewel of Lord Somers, who was his predecessor as Governor of Victoria. I clothe him with his apron, the badge of a Grand Master. Microphone problems. I've much pleasure in investing you with your chain collar of Grandmaster, to which is attached a very important jewel whose symbolical meaning will be of striking significance to you. I now surrender to you the seat of authority, that you may rule as Grandmaster. I place in your hand this gavel, the symbol of supreme Masonic power, which in your hands should never be used in vain. And may the blessing of God Almighty be with you. And may you be blessed with a firm competence of that wisdom, of course, wisdom. May you be blessed with a firm confidence of that wisdom. It's a highly distinguished King Solomon, whom you are now the representative. In fact, you're the chief representative. Permit me to render this the first act of homage to you as Grandmaster. I hail, salute, and proclaim you Grandmaster of Masons in the state of Victoria. Behold, your Grandmaster.
Right worshipful, very worshipful, worshipful brethren and brethren, be it known unto you and to all free and accepted Masons that most worshipful brother Anthony John Bucca has been installed, according to ancient custom, most worshipful Grandmaster of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria. And all are hereby commanded and charged to render unto him perfect submission and all due homage. And I now call upon you to greet him with grand honours 9 times. Be seated, brethren.
The escorting Grand Stewards today are Worshipful Brother Bruce Brabender, Worshipful Brother Joseph Farrer, Worshipful Brother Eddie Rogers, Worshipful Brother Richard Skinner, Worshipful Brother Barry Watson, Worshipful Brother Archie Alvarez, Worshipful Brother Emmanuel Barbusis, and Worshipful Brother David Draffin. Lord Huntington was the Grand Master from 1935 to 1939. In his honour, a collarette jewel was struck and is worn by every Grand Master during his term of office. The jewel is studded with 12 brilliant diamonds and has a value in excess of $25,000. You may see past Grand Masters wearing this jewel, but they're replicas of the original. Make sure you keep an eye out for the original jewel the Grand Master will wear. And just in case you're thinking about making a souvenir of it, remember that the Grand Sword Bearer has a very sharp sword and is charged with keeping the jewel safe, just like the Grand Master. So far, no Grand Sword Bearer has lost either a jewel or a Grand Master. I think that's why it's considered by many to be the best and most important job in Grand Lodge. Seriously, Freemasonry is an organisation of good men supporting each other, their families and the community. Freemasonry promotes friendship, participation in the community, benevolence, self-development and an ability to participate in 300-year-old ceremonies, one of which you're witnessing today.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, I present to you Right Worshipful Brother Peter John Henschel, who has been elected to the position of Deputy Grand Master for installation.
Thank you, Very Worshipful Grand Director. You will present him for installation. And you have conducted him to the altar to take upon himself the obligation appertaining to the duties of his office.
Peter John Henschel, in the presence of Almighty God and in the body of this Grand Lodge, do promise and swear that to the best of my ability I will faithfully, zealously and impartially perform the duties of Deputy Grand Master in this jurisdiction during the ensuing 12 months, and until a successor shall have been regularly elected and installed in my stead. I further promise that I will conform to and maintain the constitutions, laws, rules and regulations of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria and the usages and customs of free and accepted Masons, and will at all times enforce strict obedience thereto. So help me God.
Right Worshipful Brother Peter, you have undoubtedly been an attentive observer of the ceremony of my installation as Grand Master, since you are aware that in case of my incapacity to act in contingencies mentioned in our Book of Constitutions, you succeed to my rights and prerogatives, as you do also when acting as my substitute in all matters specially delegated to you. Your office, therefore, is one of great dignity and importance, and it is in view of our confidence in your ability to meet its needs that you have been elected to fill it. Bear in mind, however, the suggestions made to me as Grand Master, for you know not how soon they may apply to yourself. Remember also that our particular regulations and usages place you in a unique and confidential relationship with me as my supporter and counsellor. Pull that strap across. I invest you with the badge of your office, the apron of a Deputy Grand Master. Oops, lost your microphone. It's all right. I also invest you with the chain of your office, to which is attached the jewel of a Deputy Grand Master. I place you in your chair at the right of the Grand Master and proclaim you Deputy Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria.
Right worshipful, very worshipful, worshipful brethren and brethren. Right worshipful brother Peter John Henschel, having been installed as Deputy Grand Master for the ensuing 12 months, I call upon you to greet him with grand honours 7 times. Be seated, brethren.
The Deputy Grand Master is afforded Grand Honours 7 times, as distinct to the Grand Master who received 9. Apart from leading the organisation in ceremonial duties, the Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master are heavily involved in the administration and the direction of setting the policy for Freemasons in the state of Victoria. The Deputy Grand Master now rises and acknowledges the special greeting that he's just received with a sign of fidelity. The next 2 most senior members of Grand Lodge are the Senior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice, and Junior Grand Warden, Right Worshipful Brother Neil Moyer, and they will be proclaimed.
Not bad. Okay, boys.
Deputy Grand Master, I present to you Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice and Right Worshipful Brother Neil Moyer for investiture as Senior Grand Warden and Junior Grand Warden, respectively.
Right Worshipful Brother Dice, you have been appointed to a position of great importance, to aid in the preservation of order and to afford counsel and support to the Most Worshipful Grand Master are high and responsible duties. And when to these are superadded your task of diligently preserving the ancient landmarks throughout the Territory in conjunction with the Junior Grand Warden, your trust becomes a matter of the utmost moment to the welfare of the craft. Your fitness for the post has led to your appointment by the Most Worshipful Grand Master, and I have pleasure and confidence in investing you with the chain and jewel of your office. You represent Jarkin. Right Worshipful Brother Moya, the duties of your office and the qualifications thereof are closely related to those of the Senior Grand Warden. I trust you will be vigilant and circumspect, whether at your station in Grand Lodge or in the wider field without, in order to ensure that the ancient landmarks of the Order remain unchanged. I invest you with the collar and jewel of your office. You will now repair to your station in the south, and be ever watchful that the hour of high 12 does not find your work and that of the craft unperformed. You represent Boaz.
Right worshipful, very worshipful. Worshipful brethren and brethren, I now proclaim that Right Worshipful Brother Barry Dice and Right Worshipful Brother Neil Moya have been invested as Grand Wardens for the ensuing 12 months, and I call upon you to greet them with grand honours 5 times. Be seated, brethren. Done.
The Grand Master received Grand Honours 9 times, Deputy Grand Master 7 times, now the Grand Wardens 5 times, and they will now stand and acknowledge those Grand Honours with a sign of fidelity.
Good luck, mate.
Historically, the role of the wardens on a work site or workplace might be seen as the senior foreman. They are considered to be important duties and deputies to the Grand Master. Each year in Grand Lodge, the junior Grand Warden is often selected from the country region. The Grand Master's jewel is a pair of compasses extended at an angle of 45 degrees with a segment of a circle joining the points. On a plate in the centre is an all-seeing eye within a triangle. The Grand Master wears a very ornate apron, but its central part is white, as are all Freemasons' aprons, and was originally made of lambskin. Although the installation of the Grand Master takes place every 12 months or so, the Grand Master will normally perform his duties in a period of 2 years. Of the previous Grand Masters, a number of them have been of a background in politics, the legal court system, policing, IT, business, and have even made a name for themselves in car racing.
Very Worshipful Brother Harry Blatt, Grand Director of Ceremonies. Very Worshipful Brother Frank Lombardo, Deputy Grand Director of Ceremonies. Worshipful Brother Alan Tyndall, Grand Pursuivant. Worshipful Brother Andrew Buchanan, Senior Grand Deacon. Worshipful Brother Elias Heraclius, Senior Grand Deacon. Worshipful Brother Milton Mann, Senior Grand Deacon. Which one? Very Worshipful Brother John Rager's Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies. My apologies. Worshipful Brother Giorgio Miliaccio, Junior Grand Deacon. Worshipful Brother Thanakaran Nadaraja, Junior Grand Deacon. Worshipful Brother Mark Field, Junior Grand Deacon. Worshipful Brother Philip Baravecchio, Grand Swordbearer. Worshipful Brother David Fung, Grand Swordbearer. Worshipful Brother Roger Porter, Grand Swordbearer. Worshipful Brother Jason Dawson, Grand Standard Bearer. Worshipful Brother Wayne Evans Barker, Grand Standard Bearer. Worshipful Brother Robert Horton, Grand Standard Bearer. Worshipful Brother David Manalak, Assistant Grand Pursuivant. Worshipful Brother David Webb, Assistant Grand Pursuivant. Worshipful Brother John Lloyd, Assistant Grand Pursuivant. Worshipful Brother Bruce Brabender, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Charles Darvis, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Andrew Karakonstancis, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Emmanuel Barakis Barbosis, Grand Steward. Can't keep up. Worshipful Brother Ethan Holmes, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother John Chabib, Grand Steward. I didn't miss him. Worshipful Brother David Dimich, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Ross Henderson, Grand Steward. Very Worshipful Brother John McKernan, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Bill Lowen, Grand Steward. Worshipful Brother Charles Wright, Grand Steward. Brother Kevin Richardson, Grand Master's Assistant. Brother Guy Wilcock, Grand Master's Assistant. Brother Jan Ben Palangayan, Grand Master's Assistant.
Most Worshipful Grand Master and Brethren of Victoria, we have been elected or appointed as your Grand Officers for the ensuing year. We are aware that our duties will require us to devote much of our time to the cause of Freemasonry, and that they will involve a readiness to subject personal convenience to the service of the craft. Our zeal for the fraternity and belief in its principles will allow us to pledge ourselves to its service with full commitment and enthusiasm. Our watchwords will be devotion to our several duties and loyalty to the tenets of Freemasonry, to our Grand Master and to each other. We know that our association with each other will provide a memorable experience which will be treasured for all time, and that the deep friendships which we shall form shall be sufficient reward if such be needed, for our year of active service to the craft and through it to the community. We express our humble confidence that this team of Grand Officers will maintain that high standard of efficiency and service which has been set over so many years by our predecessors in office.
Very worshipful brethren and brethren, the Grand Officers for the ensuing 12 months, having been installed and invested, I call upon you to greet them with grand honours 3 times. Be seated, brethren.
ladies, gentlemen and brethren, we come to the exciting part of the afternoon now, my address. I must say you may have seen me place a peck on the cheek of a couple of Italian members of the grand team. That's in deference to my Sicilian heritage. I did forget one, Worshipful Brother Giorgio Migliaccio, wherever you are. I owe you one. Thank you all for being part of the 2023 Grand Installation, as a result of which I've become the 48th Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria in its 134-year history. I'm humbled by the honour and the trust which you've placed in me, and in return I will endeavour to live up to the solemn obligations that I've sworn before you today. As significant as those sacred promises may be, our fraternity's grand installation is about more than one person. It's an annual reminder that we embark upon being Freemasons as a fraternity, as a team, respecting each other and every brother, as well as our special duties within the wider community. Ascending to the role of Grand Master has parallels to the journey through life of every Freemason and indeed every person. There are many parallels in the teachings of Freemasonry and our own lives as members of society, working together, respecting each other, and being good citizens and worthwhile members of the community. Today we saw the Grand Team invested. They are the visible face of our Grand Lodge, and together they give of their time and money freely to represent us throughout Victoria, interstate and even overseas. I thank them all in advance and wish them a happy, healthy and rewarding term of office. As you saw, I had the honour of investing my deputy, Right Worshipful Brother Peter Henschel. We've known each other for more than 30 years and we've been involved in teams, boards, committees and various senior roles. Anna and I very much look forward to a continuation of a wonderful association with Peter and his good lady Sharon. Today, I officially take over as Grand Master from Most Worshipful Brother Richard Elkington, whom, as you would be aware, decided to stand down in August last year. The changeover was unexpected on my part, but I guess that the fraternity has 7 or 8 months to have me on approval, or trial, as they say in late night TV infomercials, whilst I acted in the role of Grand Master. I'm sure that a few of you would have asked for a full refund, but you ain't going to get one. I've never been out there to win a popularity contest, and I never will. At this time, I would like to thank Richard for his time at the helm and for having the courage to make some very difficult decisions. I have no doubt that we will be a better organisation as a result. Thank you, Richard. Thank you also to Kathleen from Anna and myself for your friendship and support over the last 3 years. A grand installation is not a place for a policy statement. If you don't know what I stand for after some 33 years of involvement at Grand Lodge level, then I haven't delivered the message properly. I hope that you'll regard me always as someone who plays a straight bat, for whom honesty and honour is paramount. Sometimes a leader's role means that you need to make tough decisions, especially in an order in which we have more than 7,000 creative individuals, each with their own opinions and each only too willing to express those opinions. Hopefully we're all in lockstep in upholding our Masonic principles. You have my commitment that I will give all my energy to be a guardian of our Masonic landmarks. Today is not just about Grand Lodge. It's about all lodges. It's about our anniversary as the United Grand Lodge of Victoria as we embark on a new Masonic year. In the year ahead, more than anything else, I hope to visit as many lodges as possible, to be in your lodge rooms with you, to perform ritual and ceremonial work alongside you, to aim for excellence, to enjoy each other's company in the south and clinker glass and do our good works in society. That is what true Freemasonry is about. Our slogan for my term as Grand Master will be bringing happiness to others. One of a number of things that we seem to have forgotten over the years. At this stage, I want to express a few thank yous. I want to thank firstly our Grand Secretary, Right Worshipful Brother Bruce Cowie, for his effective administrative leadership. We have a cohesive team of staff members who I thank. But I wish to make special mention of Julia Edwards, our Executive Assistant, who works hard behind the scenes to ensure that everything works the way it should. Graham Berry, who together with Julia puts in an enormous amount of work, particularly in the planning for this weekend and down to the minutest details. Ben Quick, Rosh Borum, the guys from Golden Fleece Lodge, everyone that's helped, too numerous to mention, I thank each and every one of you. Freemasons Victoria has an extraordinary team of volunteer leaders. We've had our Masonic Council, our Commercial Council members, Senior Grand Officers, ceremonial team members, district coordinators, volunteer action teams, and the list goes on. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all. Every single brother in this state has a role to play. It doesn't matter whether you've just joined our organisation or whether you've been a member for 50 or 60 or even 80 years, and we have a few of those. There's a role for you at lodge level. We all have a duty to make Freemasons Victoria the best it can be. We must work together as a team if we are to consolidate what has been achieved since COVID. Every one of us can and should be leaders, because leadership's an action, it's not a title. It's about unlocking people's potential to become better. And Freemasonry should be about constantly striving to be at our best. I want to thank in particular Lois Wilson. I believe she's here. Lois, where are you? Thank you. Lois is the widow of past Grand Master John Wilson, and I want to thank her for allowing me to wear his regalia. I was John's Grand Registrar for a number of years, and what a wonderful way to perpetuate the memory of a past Grand Master who's gone to the Grand Lodge above. Thank you, Lois and son Neil Wilson, for being here to share this occasion with us. Please put your hands together, ladies and brethren. Thanks also to Right Worshipful Brother Barry Reaper for getting the choir back together after many years. I really appreciate the effort that you guys put in, and hopefully we'll get a few more to swell your ranks and we'll get the choir back to where it was many, many years ago. So thank you all to those who sang today. Special thanks to all the delegations for attending. We expect the Australasian delegations to support each other, but when we have a bevy of visitors from overseas, and I refer to my very good friends from Malaysia, Brother O.B. Lim, I think behind me somewhere, and Brother Gordon Lee in particular, and my very good friend, past Grand Master Norman Pin from Taiwan. I really appreciate you being with us today, and it demonstrates Freemasonry Universal. We also have a representative of the Grand Master from the Grand Lodge of Estonia, and thanks to you, brother, for attending also. I must also mention the appointment of 3 Grand Masters assistants. You saw them today. They're not worshipful masters, past masters. They are every day, if you can use that expression, Master Masons. And I want to congratulate them in particular. They're the guinea pigs. It's the first time we've ever had Grand Masters assistants, and I congratulate them, as I said, as they begin their journey in Grand Lodge ceremonial. I must acknowledge, with grateful thanks, the fact that we borrowed this idea from Most Worshipful Brother Danny Gannon, Grand Master of Western Australia. And Danny, I'm going to be very brave here, and I'm going to say that we've actually improved and refined your idea no end. Now, I'm saying brave because he has the response this evening at the banquet, so I'm sure that I'm going to be in for a bit of a serve later on. Right Worshipful Grand Director, I'm not sure what you are at the moment. Are you the Senior Grand Warden or are you the Grand Director? Whatever I want. That's a very good answer. I'm going to make a couple of presentations. I was wondering whether you would be good enough to bring your wife, Jill Dice, to the floor of Grand Lodge, please. You may as well, if you wouldn't mind going to the Grand Secretary's table. He has some bits and pieces for us. Now, for those that don't know, Jill is the de facto Grand Director. She's trained Barry over the years, for about 30 odd years. Yes, just place them there on the kneeling stool or wherever you can fit them. And perhaps you could stand next to your good lady. Now, by the way, I think this lovely couple celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. 52, a couple of days ago. Congratulations.
Well done, you.
Now, what I want to do, for those that don't know, Barry did a stint as Grand Director a few years back, and due to some unforeseen circumstances, he came back this year to help out the team. He was always going to be appointed as Senior Grand Warden, so at the moment he's doing a dual role. Jill, of course, has been just wonderful looking after Kathleen and particularly my wife Anna. Jill's been like a mother hen to Anna, made sure that everything was catered for, and I thank you on behalf of both of us, and what I'd like to do is present both of you with the Grand Master's Order of Merit. That says Mrs. Jill Dice, Grand Director. No, it doesn't. I'm kidding.
Well, it should.
And this says, oh, past Senior Grand Warden. Well, that's wrong. We'll have to fix that. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Now,
you
would
so
you
much.
please take your good lady back? I've got one more award to do, or presentation. By the way, the baton that Barry is carrying, usually it's traditional for the outgoing director to get a baton to keep. That's his old one, but it has got a plaque on it acknowledging the fact that he's done a second year as Grand Director. So thank you very much. Now, Grand Director, if you'd like to join me, because I hate being alone. Now, I have another very important presentation to make. This is a Grand Master's Order of Service, and there are not too many of these around. I think at the moment we've probably got less than half a dozen recipients, and it's awarded to people that have done something out of the ordinary and above and beyond the call of duty. We've got a chap by the name of Ashley. Is it Ashley Long? Stay there, you don't have to get up. Ash has been our Grand Superintendent of Communications for 3 years, and as many of you would be aware, we've had somewhat of a difficult period over that time, and communications has been one of the mainstays. It's a way we've kept in touch with our brethren during COVID. It's a way we've kept in touch with our brethren in relation to important constitutional changes and what's been happening at Grand Lodge level. This brother here has put in, I hate to think, he's a media mogul, he runs local newspapers, And I hate to think how many hours of his time, his own time, effort and money he's put in to help this organisation. So very worshipful, it's actually right worshipful Brother Ash, isn't it? You were promoted by our immediate past Grand Master, which I didn't really know about until fairly late in the piece. So you're getting a double whammy today. It's my honour and pleasure to confer on you, I've lost my microphone, the Grand Master's Order of Service. Please wear that with pride. Very well deserved, and as I said, one of the very few recipients in Victoria of that award. Thank you. Thank you. Hasn't been that long, it's only been 10 minutes. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, nearly done. I don't think I've spoken for all that long. I said at the December communication that I had some good news, which I was not at liberty to divulge at that point in time. I can now tell you, as paperwork's been executed, that the property in Church Street, Brighton, formerly owned by Bayside MCF Proprietary Limited, has now been transferred to Freemasons Victoria. That property has an estimated value of $15 million. It will become part of our portfolio, and hopefully, well, I anticipate that it will be used to generate another income stream to help the long-term viability of Freemasonry in this state. I want to pay public thanks to Right Worshipful Brother Gary Brad, past Deputy Grand Master, all the directors of that board, and of course one of the trustees, Most Worshipful Brother Gary Sebo, for your assistance and hard work in getting us into this position. Finally, Anna and I look forward to the Masonic journey ahead, being alongside you in our roles over the next 2 years, God willing. I want to record thanks to Anna. 5 years ago, she didn't even know what Freemasonry was. Now, if I can use the expression, she's our Grand Mistress. Thank you, darling, for your support, your happy demeanour, and I look forward to sharing the next 2 years with you. Ladies, gentlemen and brethren, thank you. Please enjoy the remainder of the afternoon, and for those attending the banquet, we look forward to catching up with all of you, and I trust you're going to enjoy it as much as I plan to. Thank you very much. It's less than 10 minutes.
Assist me to close the line.
Most Worshipful Grand Master, on behalf of the visiting delegations, we congratulate you on being appointed or installed as Grand Master of this, the United Grand Lodge of Victoria. We wish you well over your term of office and look forward to a future working with you to progress Freemasonry into the future. I'd also like to congratulate your Deputy Grand Master on taking that high office, and the new Grand Officers on taking their respective positions. Brethren, enjoy the journey. Last night at the meet and greet, your Grand Director said that he had 22 hours to go. Grand Director, it was 22 hours, and I'm sure it was different for you than it was for us, but I tell you, it was worth waiting those 22 hours to witness the ceremony that we've seen this afternoon. Congratulations to you and the installing team. And finally, I'd like to thank the Grand Master for his speech It gave all the Grand Masters of Australia time to get onto Ancestry.com, and we have found out that we have no Italian or Sicilian heritage, and you don't have to kiss us.
Ladies, gentlemen, and brethren all, you will please rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Be seated, everyone.
Close. Brethren, assist me to close Grand Lodge. Grand Pursuivant, where is your situation in Grand Lodge?
Within the porch, most worshipful Grand Master.
Your duty?
To give due report of all approaching brethren, to see that they are properly clothed and arranged under their respective banners.
Are they so arranged?
They are, to the best of my belief, most worshipful Grand Master.
Where is the situation of the Junior Grand Warden?
In the south, most worshipful Grand Master.
Right Worshipful Junior Grand Warden. Whom do you represent?
Boaz, the Prince of the People on Mount Tabor.
Where is the situation of the Senior Grand Warden?
In the west, most worshipful Grand Master.
Right Worshipful Acting Senior Grand Warden. Whom do you represent?
Jarkin, the Assistant High Priest on Mount Sinai.
Where is the situation of the Deputy Grand Master?
At the right of the Most Worshipful Grand Master.
Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master. Whom do you represent?
Hiram Abiff, the Prince of Architects.
Your duty?
To lay lines, draw designs, and prepare the work for the Grand Master.
Most Worshipful Past Grand Master. Where is the situation of the Grand Master?
In the east,
Whom does he represent?
the Royal Solomon.
Brethren, I claim your attention to the Grand Chaplain who will offer up prayer.
Almighty Father and Supreme Governor of all men, be pleased, we beseech thee, to seal with thy divine approval all such words and actions of this convocation as shall through thy mighty power unite us still more closely in the bonds of holy brotherhood and virtue. Pardon our frailties and shortcomings. Deepen within us every conviction of duty and strengthen every earnest resolution of amendment, and to continue to look upon our order with thy most gracious favour. Keep us and our several avocations and estates under thy merciful protection, and to bring us finally to the full light and knowledge of thy eternal presence, to whom be all glory, dominion, and power, both now and forevermore.
Brethren, in the name of the Royal Solomon, I declare Grand Lodge closed in ample form.
Brother Masons, raise your voices, join in harmony and love, and with shouts of acclamation, praise the one who rules above. And as brothers live together in the bonds of truth and love, and resume those ties forever in the great Grand Lodge above.
Be seated, brethren.
The Assistant Grand Director of Ceremonies, Worshipful Brother Eddie Cohen, now comes forward to close Grand Lodge's volume of the Sacred Law. That completes the official installation of the Grand Master and the Grand Ceremonial team for the 2023-24 year, and investiture of the Deputy Grand Master and Senior Grand Officers. Grand Lodge is now closed.
Right, worshipful, very worshipful, worshipful brethren, ladies, gentlemen, and guests, you will please rise. And remain standing while the most worshipful Grand Master, the Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, the most worshipful past Grand Masters, the leaders of visiting delegations, and Grand Wardens
The retirement
retire.
is led by the Grand Director of Ceremonies, who's followed by the Grand Master, Past Grand Master, Deputy Grand Master, Senior Warden, Senior Grand Warden, and Junior Grand Warden. Thank you once again for joining us here today. I'm Right Worshipful Brother Rick Durra, past Junior Grand Warden, the host of the webcast of the 134th installation of the Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of Victoria, Most Worshipful Brother Anthony John Bucca, and his senior Grand Officers and the 2023-24 Grand Ceremonial Team held at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre.